The talk is it is part of a rite of passage. I will say that, and it's not something that you're like, oh, I can't wait, I get to have this talk. It's, I gotta have this talk.
Our talk is kind of how to stay alive and how to make it home when dealing with our protectors.
It's not fair to have that conversation, but these conversations that you must have, because this has occurred.
I've had the talk with both my parents, both my mom and my dad, but with my generation, I feel like we're more like, we feel like we shouldn't have to have a talk.
For African Americans, it may not be the conversation they want to have with their youth, but they know they must have it. A talk about survival in a society that may not value their lives. The recent deaths of unarmed African Americans have been followed by demonstrations calling for justice and the acknowledgement that Black lives matter. Yet the talk didn't just begin. It's been going on in Black homes for decades.
I think before, when you mentioned the talk, it was about the birds and the bees. And then later on, you realized there was another vital component to you growing up as a boy into a man, that if discussion didn't happen, then you may not even get to that point.
The talk is about survival, specifically when you deal one-on-one with law enforcement. The first rule, stay calm. If you're in the car, keep your hands on the wheel. Obey directions while keeping a calm voice and respectful tone. And move slowly. These are the basic tenets of the talk. And while you may feel wrongly accused, it's not the time to argue. The only goal, to leave the encounter unharmed.
Knowing that if a situation intensified, to be able to know that you're not going to win that battle there at that particular time, especially when we're dealing with a police officer.
While I can do everything I can be respectful as I can be, I can cooperate as much as possible, it's not always going to ensure and guarantee my safety.
The way my mom brought it about, it was like so random. To me, it was random. But to her, it had to be something that was on her mind, burdening her, growing up a young Black man.
It's part of the reason mentors from the Male's Place, North Carolina's leading male mentoring program, provide guidance to these young men who question why they must be schooled on staying alive when others are not.
Unfortunately, it's a discussion that we have to have, and then when they begin to integrate and interact with maybe their white friends or other who are different cultures, different worldviews, and not understand why, they would have certain hesitations, certain reservations, why their worldview changes when you're dealing with certain topics, dealing with police, dealing with government, why they feel that way.
It's very frustrating, because you have to ask yourself, when is enough enough? And when we get to the place where people of authority can understand that, deadly force shouldn't be taken.
Shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot!
It was the interaction with the program participants, helping them to deal with conflict, that prompted their participation in a local protest, learning the skills to change a system.
We went to the demonstration with the NAACP and had an opportunity to show them they were in the front lines, marching. Then, we debriefed at the end, say, hey, this is the reason why we're doing it. This is the reason why we were organized here, why it moved to here, why we marched here, and while the message was going forth. This is the reason why certain chants were being said. Do you guys understand that?
People are of all ethnicities and cultures are very frustrated at what's going on, and a lot of people are stepping up.
These young men do understand and have their own thoughts on how their generation will affect change using their communication stream of choice, social media.
We're going to get the word out, and then we're going to take action by going before the mayor, going before people of power, letting them hear what we have to say. But first, before we can even do that, we have to be united.
And instead of me just standing there, and my generation just standing there and being like, well, it is what it is, I guess we'll talk to our children, we're like, no, we're gonna change the whole system. We're not gonna let it be this way anymore. We're not gonna let color be such a big dictator on how people are treated in our country.
Yet they are also wise enough to know there's a reason why Black parents still have the talk.
it will hurt your family more to lose you than it will hurt you to be disrespected by a police officer.
Words to live by. And that's the goal of the talk, to live. For Carolina Impact, I'm B. Thompson.
We hope you enjoyed the story. If you don't want to miss any more great stories about the Charlotte region, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.